Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are in the world, welcome and thank you for joining us. We are live from the Scottsdale Center for the Performing Arts for the inaugural U.S. InCabin event. My name is Carl Anthony, the founder and editor of AutoVision News, and a longtime partner of Sense Media, who organizes AutoSense and InCabin. We are joined today by Alex Chen, Sales and Marketing Director for iCatch Technology. Alex is responsible for customer engagement and product planning. He specializes in automotive imaging, including smart cockpits, drive recorders, and automotive camera modules for OEM, aftermarket, and fleet management. Alex, we're pleased to welcome you here today. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you for having me.
Excellent presentation yesterday during the press conference. Tell us a little bit about iCatch Technology. Give us an overview of what you're doing today.
Okay, so iCatch actually, we're an IC design house from Taiwan. We focus on providing image processing solutions to the customers, including automotive and other markets.
Yes.
iCatch, we started from consumer markets. We focus on providing chip solutions to digital camera markets.
Right.
But since digital camera got replaced by smartphones, actually iCatch started transition to other markets, including automotive, home security, and other consumer markets.
Right.
And starting with 2015, our solution started to get adopted by car makers to design in their dealer option dash cams.
Yeah.
And we started to cooperate with fleet management service providers here in the US to integrate our chips into their dash cams. And that's kind of how we got into the automotive business.
Right. So now in 2015, you're in the automotive business. How did you get into the in-cabin side of things?
Okay, so like I mentioned, after 2015, we got into the dash cam business, right? Like for the dealer option dash cams and fleet management dash cams, customers start to request to add in-cabin cameras and start to integrate, like for example, driver monitoring or in-cabin monitoring features into dash cams. That's kind of how we got into the in-cabin markets and applications.
Right. Alex, your iCatch solution, how is it different than other SoCs that are on the market?
Okay, since our solution is SoC, translates to system on chip, so actually includes several key hardware blocks inside the chip. For example, there are 4 key blocks. The first one is we call it ISP, image signal processors, which receive the raw data from the sensor and process it into the images humans see.
Yes.
Right, like RGB images or IR images or other kind of images.
Right.
That's kind of the core block of our SoCs.
Which makes sense.
And it's actually designed by iCatch, and it's our proprietary IP.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And there's a second block we call it video codec. It's actually like H.264 to 65. It's for video recording, video compression. That's kind of the second main block inside our SoCs.
Yeah, it's just so neat, Alex. Yesterday during InCabin, and for our viewers, I'll quote from the press release, you announced the CR3 Automotive Image Processing SoC for smart cockpit and in-cabin sensing applications, and the goal is to help OEMs and Tier 1s realize, and I quote, camera-based in-cabin sensing solutions at the edge with improved latency and privacy protections. There's also mentions in there of event-based vision sensors.
That's
Alex,
correct.
This is cool stuff. Can you elaborate on all of that?
Sure. Thanks for the question.
Yeah.
Actually, we officially announced CR3 SoC about June last year, and it's officially mass production right now. Our customers are designing this chip. The main features of this chip is that it can support up to 4 cameras, and simultaneously. And it can connect up to multiple different kinds of sensor at the same time. For example, the traditional RGB sensors.
Right.
In addition to RGB IR sensor, which actually integration of RGB and IR into one camera, we can support that as well.
Yeah.
And the most different from our competitors is that we added the support of event-based sensors, starting with this SoC. We cooperate with Prophecy, Sony, Samsung, other providers in this field. Like event-based sensor is a new technology. It actually only captures the objects in movement, and it only shows the outline of moving objects. So it has some major advantage over traditional sensors. For example, like the privacy protection, low latency, and the high dynamic range. That's kind of the main advantage of the sensors. And we start to cooperate with the algorithm third parties or the customers to kind of elaborate how event sensors can be used for in-cabin sensing.
Right.
So that's kind of the main highlight features of CR3. Also, we have added computer vision DSP for the pre-processing and post-processing.
Sure, sure.
And also the AI NPU inside for AI inferencing. So all our customers can, based on CR3 SoCs, and design multiple camera in-cabin sensing edge AI devices
Right.
based on our chip.
Right. With everything with CR3,
Right.
How is everything progressing right now as we've come into the InCabin conference in Phoenix? What's the latest that you can share with us on the whole progress?
Okay, so like the chip actually entered mass production about June last year.
Right.
And our customer already designed in this chip for dash cam, also in cabin sensing applications.
Right.
I think you could expect like the end product to enter mass production around by the end of this year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Alex, coming from Taiwan,
Yep.
there is a huge technology culture, semiconductor culture, and especially with vehicles becoming electrified and autonomous
That's correct.
and more advanced. Tell us about the technology culture in Taiwan and how that fits with this movement towards new mobility in automotive.
Okay, so like, yeah, iCatch is from Taiwan. But Taiwan, I think, very strong history and long history in semiconductor. So we have the full supply chain all the way from IC design to manufacturing and packaging, the full supply chain in Taiwan. So that's why I think we have a strong base that coming from Taiwan. And but like Taiwan doesn't really have a much a great foundation for car industry. But since like the cars start to get more innovative, get more electrified, I think it's a good opportunity for a Taiwanese company to start entering this market, especially in cabin applications.
Yeah, you're right, Alex, and you have come on to the scene here and have just been well received. Great presentation.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad that you could sit with us today. So from all of us here at AutoVision News and InCabin, wish you safe travels back home. Let's get caught up in the near future and do this again.
Thank you, Carl.
More to come from InCabin Phoenix here on the AutoVision News LinkedIn page from the Scottsdale Center for the Performing Arts. I'm Carl Anthony, AutoVision News.